I am Geoffrey Villadoin in an Epirus campaign from Rome 2. Last time Sparta failed, but in reality Sparta was never conquered, it just passed away quietly after the world became irrelevant to it when the Romans had dominated the rest of Greece. But in this campaign we had to conquer it, otherwise the AI would not leave us at peace. I spent a couple of turns pacifying the newly conquered regions. Next we have to conquer Knossos or make them our allies, because Knossos has a province we need for victory conditions. I have skipped over to the year 260 BC, and that was the end of that turn. We're moving over to 259 BC. We are at war with Rome. Here are the Romans at Brundisium. We have been at war with Rome since the start of the campaign. We started at war with Rome, and Syracuse there is one of our allies. And speaking of the devil, here is Knossos. They're offering us a peace treaty.
Athena gives wisdom, and Ares gives strength. I give you peace, if you will dare it.
Peace sounds like a good idea, my friend.
By the Tetractys, you have a good mind in your skull. Your decision here is most excellent.
So, that means we can choose the path of making them our allies, and in this way we don't need to conquer them for our victory conditions. We just need to control all of Hellas, which includes Knossos, so we can make them our allies. So we have Holosiderus barracks just been built, encouraged populace in Hellas, following our alliance with Knossos, or rather negotiating peace with Knossos. No alliance yet. We have recruited a unit of pikemen, levy pikemen, and a unit of Hemiolia. Hemiolias were very basic ships. They weren't really warships as far as I know, but anyway. And so here's our admiral and king, Davos. There were many kings who were generals and led armies. There were no kings ever, there were admirals. I don't know why, but he is an admiral. He became a king while he was at sea, after the death of King Epirus. So he has to get back to Epirus. He has been traveling to find new factions and make new allies. It looks like it's going to take him a few years to get from Rhodos to Epirus, rowing hard. In a few years you could row around the world. So, let's have a look at the politics. I think the politics have been revamped. And we are a very small kingdom. We do not control any provinces. Here's Demetrius. He is our best general. He also has very high influence. Unfortunately, he belongs to the Disciples of Zeus, which is a rival party. The ruling party is the family of the Molossians. And we can adopt him or marry him. I think I first will marry him to a member of our family for role-playing reasons, and then I will adopt him. So, he has been married to the house of Molossus, and now he has been adopted. So he was the faction heir, I think, and now he belongs to the Molossian family. So that's great. And the leader of the opposition is Eusebius. He leads the party of the Disciples of Zeus. And you see also there are some new icons in the Divide and Impera style with very colorful purple and yellow and so on. Here's Peucestus. He is the admiral in Apollonia. He's raising a fleet there while our general, our king, is away on commercial missions. And this is another thing that I also think this is new. So there are these new options. You can make your faction a state as a league, an empire, a kingdom, or a politia. At the moment, we're a kingdom. League lowers unit upkeep costs. Empire speeds up research rate. Kingdom has +2 experience to recruit units. But I have not seen that yet, and Politia lowers public unrest. There are also other interesting bonuses. This must be a new update because I have not seen it before, and I have not seen experience bonuses to units being recruited so far. It looks interesting. I do not suppose the AI uses these options. In any case, back to our campaign. Here's Athens. Eusebius is in Athens. He was raising an army to invade Crete. We don't have to attack Crete now. They have signed a peace. We have a trade agreement. Hopefully they will become our allies. And so Eusebius has gone over to the Peloponnese, where one of our other generals, Cleonymus, is in Sparta with a very small garrison. An army called Odysseus Wanderers, a very evocative name. So we'll join the two armies, and then we will release Cleonymus of his duties. So he can go back to Sparta, governing the city without an army. And Eusebius will head off towards Apollonia to reinforce the army there, so we can prepare ourselves for an attack on Rome. Here's Demetrius with his army. The ravaging Chimeras, a very small army. In Larissa, he's gone over to join up with the army of Eusebius. He's going to take over that army and take you to Apollonia. Demetrius is our best general. He played quite a big role in defeating Athens.
At once.
And so Eusebius is going to head back to Athens, and Demetrius will bring the army to Apollonia.
Ready for battle.
So that was the end of the year 259. Let's have a look at the faction ownership. Here's an overview. These are the factions we know of. I think we also know of Egypt. The political map is also new, I think. The Molossians control the north and the Disciple of Zeus control the south. We are at war with Tylis and Rome and are allied to Syracuse at the moment. There is high public order across the kingdom due to our charitable rule. Epirus is the wealthiest region in our expanded kingdom. Growth is highest in the south, where we are trying to win over the conquered populace to our cause. And this was the end of the year 259 BC.
I am unstoppable.
The Romans seem to be hanging about Syracuse. They look like they've taken Syracuse. They almost walked into it. They were our only ally.
You have many fine goods that many among us would enjoy. Can I not persuade you to trade with us?
Knossos are offering us trade and 980 gold.
Wisdom should always be admired, even in small things. Let us hope today's acceptance is a great thing.
Well, thank you, my friend. It's the beginning of great things. So we have to do something to help Syracuse. So it looks like we will soon be in real war footing with Rome. So Electra has gained a rank. He's rank 5 spy. Oh, Syracuse has lost its one and only settlement, so trade agreement has dissolved. It's no longer possible to have trade with Syracuse. They have nothing left except that little tiny army in a corner there. I wish I could help them, but our army is still on its way to Apollonia. We're not going to be able to help on time. So Cleonymus has gone back to his civil duties. Yes, and look at the political situation with the new colorful icon. So you see Demetrius now is part of the Molossian party, Molossian family, as is Cleonymus. He's a statesman in Apollonia. He's moved to Apollonia now. He was in Sparta before. Here's some other options. I've never really noticed these. They might have been here, I don't remember them. You can use your non-general characters, the ones who are non-military characters, as in political missions, so in diplomatic, administrative missions, or to organize a feast. And you get some bonuses. You have to spend some money on those things. I think at the moment money is tight. This is something maybe for when things get a little bit harder in some respects with public order later on in the campaign. Although in this campaign they started pretty bad with public order, but it's under control now. So here's back into a look into our kingdom. Larissa can now has a new slot. We can build some fields there. Build fields, plow some fields, and definitely military wharf in Apollonia. This is the one place where we need a military wharf. This is where we will launch our attack on Rome and Carthage from.
Get to it, men.
Sebius is back in Athens, where his presence will help with public order, hopefully. Demetrius is on his way to Apollonia, and he's going to force march there. He's gonna march till his fleet bleed. So this is his army here. And these are the stats of Demetrius. We'll go over them in a minute. But just a sneak preview, he has terrific stats. Plus 10 upkeep for all land units. Or minus 10% upkeep. Public order bonuses and so on. So he's on his way to Apollonia. Here's Brundisium, and it looks undefended at the moment. It's of course deceptive because it has obviously a garrison. And I'd like to recruit an agent, but we don't have money at the moment. We don't have money for anything. We just have 100 golden coins in our state coffers, that's all. So here are the stats I was talking about. Plus 18 chance of wounding enemy agents in self-defense because that spy was with him for a long time. Improves, has cultural influence, improves public order, reduces slave population decline, gravitas per 10, authority per 10, plus 2 public order per 10, minus 10% upkeep for all land units, minus 10% upkeep for all ships, minus 5% morale for all enemy units. Very good. Plus 5% armor for all units. Enables ability battle rhythm, inspire, and second wind. As I said, it has plus 3 authority, plus 1 canning. The only negative thing, slightly negative, is minus 5% to number of battle captives. No big deal. settlement with high tax and low public order can cause problems or something. I don't quite understand that. He has a plus 15% to the size of the commander's auras of influence. Excellent. And just kind of slightly negative bonus to the cooldown of special abilities. I don't know if that's so. Does it mean the cooldown will last longer or shorter? Minus 12% bonus. I'm not sure, but anyway, good stats otherwise. Electra, as we heard, has gained in status. So it's a 5-level spy now. So there she is with the new colorful icons from Divido et Impera. I assume the same color scheme. We have the option of improving the watching ability or the attack sort of ability. Will increase the attack ability. We need active spies, not spies that are kind of passive. So back to Athens with Eusebius. Okay, that's a very small army. Here's the situation. Apollonia already has a garrison of the Centaurs. And it's a very pitiful army, really. And this army will unite with the army of Demetrius. We have some Illyrian levies here, some light missile troops, and some levy pikemen.
Ready for battle!
And we don't need the Centaurs anymore. We don't need Telesphorus. They're probably going to release him from his duties. We'll disband that little light unit he had with him, and Telesphorus can go back home to his family. Unfortunately, Demetrius is run out of movement, so he cannot go into Apollonia. That's not great, unfortunately.
At your command. Fleet reporting.
Call this a fleet? Have a little bit of money for some diplomacy.
May Hermes bless us both with skillful tongues, that we may speak our parts well, and so reach agreement.
Just want to give a little bit of money to a faction, just to give money away to improve our relations. So the Illyrians are to our north.
Greetings, friend. We will speak together of whatever you wish, but bring words that can warm our hearts.
We will do, we will do. Give you some money. So, we will be attacking Rome, and so we need our flank covered. So we need to have good relations with the Illyrians to the north. King Epirus was in very good terms with the Illyrians. At one point, he was thrown out of his kingdom when he was very, very young prince and young boy. And the Illyrian king took him over. And so after that, he had great relations with the Illyrians. So our king Davos has reached Apollonia. The Romans are converting Syracuse from a Hellenic city to a Roman-style city.
There is a time when warriors must sheath the sword and talk for the good of their people.
Tylius, who were one of our enemies, has offered us peace, so we've accepted that. Back to the Romans in Syracuse. The nasty Romans. Oh, we have an offer to intimidate opposition. Local bandits will do it for us. Can either accept or refuse. I think I'll refuse. We are an honorable state. We have an honorable king. He doesn't use bandits to intimidate the opposition. So, encouraged populace in Macedonia. Epicestus, our admiral in Apollonia, has gotten bad trade. We have peace with Thales. Recruited citizen cavalry in Athens and some Hemiolias in Apollonia. Syracuse has been destroyed as a faction. So our one and only ally has been destroyed as a faction. Great. The AI at least knows what it's doing.
Fleet reporting.
Here is Admiral Davos. He's going to take over the fleet of Peucestus. Yes, Peucestus, he's been building a fleet. Well, not much of a fleet anyway. The Masters of Mesogeios. I had renamed Peucestus' fleet into Poseidon's Chosen. I need to move that name now to the Masters of Mesogeios. The Masters of the Mediterranean, that's what it says. Mediterranean, the center of the earth. So the only thing we can recruit here is these Hemiolias, these very light ships. They weren't even ships, they were some sort of boat, more like a commercial vessel in reality. And we have a little bit of money to upgrade something. Here's Hellas. Actually, maybe we can get an agent or maybe some units here. That's a good idea. So we can get better cavalry here. So we can get a couple of good, useful units for our campaign against the Romans. Here's the rest of our army. I have renamed them as the Guardians of Styx. Styx was the underworld. It was a river running in front of the underworld. Anything that would fall into the river would die. And it barred the entrance to the underworld. And one of the entrances was via a place in Epirus, by the river Acheron. And so I've renamed that unit into the Guardians of Styx. So that was the end of game turn 256 of the year 256 BC. Back to the Romans, the nasty Romans in Syracuse. They seem to have abandoned Brundisium. I would expect that's deceptive. Peucestus, our former captain, has returned home. Protection from civil war is expiring. This is also a new thing, a new patch, a new upgrade. Intimidate opposition. The bandits have offered their services to the opposite party, to the disciples of Zeus. Very nasty people. Well, so we've finished that military war, so we can now recruit some nice ships. Davos of Basilius has also gained that silly trait, the Bibulus trait, because he has been inactive for one game turn. Thank you. We've got 2 nice units recruited in Athens. We've got some Hemiolias recruited in Apollonia. So we're going to recruit some nice ships. Apologies, there's not more happening. We are preparing for an attack on Rome. We need to raise an army and above all a fleet to safeguard our passage over to Italy. So let's get 3 of those Scorpion ballista ships. Light artillery Pentiris Greek ballista ships. Scorpion Pentiris are worth more. All the other ships are more expensive, except for the Hemiolias. But we get some Pentiris for our money, so that's great. And we'll get also those archers. That sounds good. They'll be useful also on land. So the archers are useful to have. We also get 105 archers on that ship, so that's great.
Commander,
So here's that wonderful army under the command of Demetrius. Mare Ionium is contested, so we cannot reach Brundisium in one turn, so we'll take to sea, and hopefully we can get to Brundisium next turn. We'll stay within reinforcement range of Apollonia. Okay, that's a good range. And a chance for a little bit of diplomacy again.
Please be seated and take wine to cool the head before we heat the day with words.
It's so wonderful. And the voice acting, so wonderful. Defensive alliance? Yes, they have accepted defensive alliance. The Bithynians look like Armenian type, but I'm not sure if they were Armenian type. Who knows what they were in those days. And back to the
Greetings,
Illyrians.
friend. We will speak together of whatever you wish, but bring words that can warm our hearts.
That's a straightforward thing to say. Give them some money for that.
You bless our meeting with these terms. I will show wisdom and accept them.
You are very wise. Hopefully we can warm them up to join our alliance. And Knossos and Macedon are now allies. I forgot to show that from the previous game turn. Made an alliance with Macedon.
Welcome. In a spirit of Olympian hospitality, I welcome you and will listen with care.
Defensive alliance? No.
I am sorry. I gain only the scorn of the gods and my people if I agree to your proposal.
That's fine. That's okay. We'll work on it. You have to learn to trust us. So we have two new allies now. We have Bithynia and Macedonia.
Athena give you wisdom, so that you may speak well and persuade me of your cause.
They're defensive allies.
Be welcome.
So moderate chance. Moderate chance? No. Rhodos does not want to be allies with us yet, like Pergamon. We'll work on it. There's potential there, that's fine.
Do not waste time on pleasantries and babble. Speak what you must and be done.
Be done with you, silly kid. So, Rome is on yellow, although we're at war with them. That's interesting. We can probably make a peace treaty with them, but we had to take Italia, and they control Italia, so...
We will gladly listen to your offers, but do not wrap them in lies. The spirits know truth.
I mean, it's going to be a military campaign. We have to fight some battles, so I don't want to make peace with them. So, Thales seem to be on yellow at the moment. They were formerly our enemies. They were at war with Macedonia, who were friends of ours.
Be welcome, friend of Egypt, and speak of your concerns to mighty Pharaoh's humble representative.
The cute voice acting from this guy. Wonderful. Trade agreement, my friend. Chance of success are low.
I will speak for Pharaoh, the lord of the two Egypts, and give voice to his acceptance.
Farewell, my friend. At least they accepted the bribe. That's okay. The present, no bribe. So here are the Guardians of Styx and Apollonia. I'm going to give new names to our armies. The nasty Romans are moving around.
We implore you, show your strength. Engage these foes and, by so doing, put fear in many hearts.
Bithynia wants us to join their war against the Cartli. Who are they? Let's accept. Okay, that made them happy, hopefully. So, in the year 254 BC now, and Bithynia has gone to war with the Seleucid Empire. That's not great news. What are the Bithynians doing? They're gonna get us into trouble. Okay, we've encountered the Cartli. We got 3 new ships in Apollonia. We're building our naval force there. We got a trade route with Rhodos and there's other things from Apollonia. That's great. Okay, I'm inclined to send a spy. This looks deceptively deserted, this place, Brundisium.
Swift and silent, a shadow among shadows.
That's what I thought. The AI is not done. And I expect Brundisium also has a sizable garrison being a walled city. I cannot see the garrison. Can't remember. There's a way to have a look at settlements. I don't remember how now.
My skills are yours.
It's been so long since I played Rome 2. I'm not an expert on Rome 2. Not by any stretch of the imagination. So we're going to establish a spy network. There's not much more for our spy to do. Every little bit helps.
Your orders?
The Guardians of Styx are within reinforcement range of Apollonia.
It is an honor to serve.
And some more ships, please.
Assembling the fleet.
Back to Athens. Public order is improving,
Ready for battle.
thanks to the good work of Eusebius. Now he has to get that army over to Apollonia. And I guess we're not attacking yet. We need all the strength we can get. So at this point, we seem to have good relations with everyone. To the north of us, to the east of us, and so on, with Knossos, Crete. So I'm going to take everything, every single unit, every single ship over to Italy. So back to the politics. Here's Demetrius. He has increased his influence. He's got now 64 senators on his side. And here's Cleonymus. He's now leading a civilian life. And that was the end of episode 7. Sorry there weren't any battles. I may do another episode very soon to make up for it. And in the meantime, thank you for watching.